Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back to ChipZ Ahoy. It's me, Chimpanzee, and we are talking One Piece Chapter 1051. Whew! Boy, it has been one hell of a week waiting to see what would happen this chapter. I mean, I feel like last chapter we got the confirmation that we needed, that the raid is finally over. Morge, get cucked. Raid will fail, bros. Please decease yourselves. Please exit the building. Everything, your dreams have gone up in smoke, just like Kaido and Big Mom. But, you know, I'm really curious to see what we're going to get this chapter, right? Like, because in my mind, the Act 3 should have ended in Chapter 1050. That just, like, makes the most sense. It's a good round number. You know, the arc was basically over at that point. I'm actually surprised last chapter that we didn't get, like, the curtain closing in the traditional kabuki fashion that we've been getting. So I was kind of surprised to see that things still were, you know, that we still have more to go in Act 3. You know, a lot of people, because of the fact that this arc was kind of beholden to this kabuki act structure, I think that's what led to people thinking that the raid would fail, because Act 3 was when the raid started, and obviously kabuki plays typically have 5 acts, and that's definitely something that influenced people's opinion and people's perception on, and like people's expectations on what this arc would be and how it would be structured. I think it influenced people a little bit too much, to the point where they ignored essentially Oda's typical arc structure, you know? And that's not to say that in post-time skip, Oda hasn't kind of broken his own arc structure with, like, arcs like Zou, or arcs like Whole Cake Island, that seem to kind of, you know, throw us for a loop a little bit, where Oda threw us some curveballs, gave us some, you know, interesting developments, or told the story in different ways that maybe led to things being a little bit more unexpected. But Wano is the most, like, traditional Oda arc we've seen in One Piece since Dressrosa. It is very... It doesn't mean that it hasn't been interesting. It doesn't mean that it hasn't been good. It just, like, is more traditional Oda style, traditional shonen style in many ways. And I think the arc being, like, kind of kabuki themed, or the structure of the arc being at least introduced as, like, this kabuki themed, like, arc that was going to be told in, like, a kabuki style, with, like, acts breaking up the different kind of, like, sub arcs that were going on with Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. I think it led people to believe that there was going to be, like, a longer and, like, more drawn out conflict that would maybe last, instead of 2 weeks like we've gotten, like the Straw Hats arrived 2 weeks before the raid, and it has been 2 weeks since they got there. But Basil Hawkins said that in a month, Straw Hat would be very likely to be, to not survive this upcoming month, essentially. So I think all of these things led people to believe that there would be a much longer arc than what it seems that we've got. And to be fair, the arc is not over. I'm just going off, like, I think that we're kind of coming to an end, and obviously we're going to have, like, post-Wano stuff, similarly to how we had post-Enies Lobby or post-Marineford. I'm definitely expecting some, you know, very interesting and kind of, like, interesting developments in, like, the post-Wano, with both, like, the fallout of this huge event that's happened with the raid, as well as fallout of what's been going on with Reverie and stuff like that as well, like world politics, kind of, like, you know, seeing the state of the world change. It's going to be super interesting. I'm excited for all of that stuff. I think that's what Act 4 is going to be. So the fact that we didn't get the curtains closing on Act 3 last chapter makes me think that's what's going to happen this chapter. Before we get into the chapter, I will say that I've been avoiding spoilers to the best of my ability. I wasn't able to do my reaction yesterday, unfortunately. Just, you know, I'll be honest, like, it wasn't because I was busy. It was just because, it was because I was busy. I got home very late. But I was also just super tired. It's been a long week. But I am excited to do it tonight. I know I'm competing with the other reactors this evening, so I'm likely to get less commenters and viewers on this, and that's okay. You know, that's just the nature of the beast. I've made my bed with that. We're just gonna have fun here. I actually just came back from getting drinks from friends, so if I'm getting drinks with friends, so if I'm a little tipsy, hope you can bear with that. I'm focused enough to do a chapter discussion, a read through. This is my initial read through of the chapter. I will say I wanted to mention this before we got into it, so you guys know. Like, I just want to be upfront with this. I was spoiled to a few minor details this chapter. I've been spoiled to the fact that Yamato plays a big role in this chapter. There seems to be a lot of discussion online about, whether or not she's or they. Sorry, I'm still kind of shaky on which pronouns I should use for Yamato at this point. But whether they are going to join the crew or not, like, apparently this chapter has sparked additional discussion on these things, so we'll see what happens here. But even beyond that, apparently Momo does some big things this chapter. I was scrolling Twitter a little bit earlier. I kind of got off of it as soon as I saw that One Piece was being discussed in any way, shape, or form. But I did see, just for full disclosure, I did see what appeared to maybe be, like, I scrolled by it real fast. I didn't get like a good glimpse, but it looks like we might see adult Momonosuke in this chapter. That's all I know. I don't know what he looks like. I briefly skimmed by a picture of a guy with long black hair. I actually don't know if that's Momonosuke. That could be a completely different character. We'll see. But I suspect this will be a heavy Momonosuke and a heavy Yamato chapter. So I'm excited to get into it. Sour says, I'm dropping super edgy magical girl anime for you. Fuck yeah, dude. Give me a super edgy magical girl anime. Oh, you're dropping watching it so you can watch me. Dude, I love you, man. I just gotta say that. This is a big heart. Goes out to you. Sour, I want to have you on the show at some point. Maybe on an off week. We'll see. Or maybe during the week. Maybe during like a week where we have a chapter. We'll see. I'll be in touch with you though. We've talked about that before. I've been on Shreddit before, so why not have a Shredditor on the old what's it called? On this damn thing that I do that I can't remember the name of. ChipZ Ahoy, right? That's the name of the show. Okay, all right, guys. Without further ado, let's get into the chapter here. One Piece chapter 1051, and it's called "The Shogun of Wano, Kazuki Momonosuke." So yeah, if I wasn't already suspecting that this was going to be a heavy Momonosuke chapter, I'm definitely suspecting it now. So here, let's see. I think this is the one. Okay. All right, here we go. The Shogun of Wano, Kazuki Momonosuke. Okay, so this is all I've seen of the chapter so far. Officially, obviously, like I said, I ran through what might have been a spoiler on Twitter. Again, apologies. I try to stay as spoiler-free as I can, but obviously when the chapter's been out for a day, it's hard to avoid it on Twitter, at least. And I did try to stay off of Twitter as much as possible. As soon as I saw there was that type of shit, I was like, all right, I'm out of here. Fuck this. But anyway. So we're picking up with the Germa cover arc here. We got Germa 66's Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 13, Germa Escapes. And we got our fucking Power Rangers here. They're back together. They're getting the band back together, These guys are the Beatles. They're looking sexy. They're looking swole with their fucking cool-ass Power Ranger outfits, their Super Sentai outfits. Germa Escapes. Good stuff. Well, okay, so they have left Big Mom's area up in smoke. I'm curious to see what'll come from this. I am excited for this cover arc. Don't get me wrong, I think I'm a little bit... I don't dislike the beige cover arc as much as most people do. I think it was fine. I get, the Pound thing sucks, but everything else... I like Pound as a character, so I don't mind him being involved. It just sucks that, that clear death scene that he got was undermined in Whole Cake Island. But I'm excited to see what's going to come from an arc with the Germa. Hopefully Oda will not revive Pedro for it, but we'll just have to see. I am excited to see other, Big Mom related stuff, maybe some Caesar related stuff. I'd be excited. Caesar seems like he should go with these guys, right? Poundy Pussy, yes. Yes. Our boy Poundy Pussy. Will he show up in the Germa cover arc? We shall see. Only time will tell. Anyway, on to the chapter proper. Let's see what's going on. Wait, there is no need to flee. What? Okay, so this is Momo addressing these guys like he was last chapter. Wait, there is no need to flee. What? It seems that the dragon really wasn't Kaido. Really? So there are 2 dragons? Fuck yeah, there are. Kaido ain't the only dragon in town anymore. This town is only big enough for 1 dragon, and Kaido just got his ass evicted. So Momo has taken over. Mysterious figures in the flower capital. All right, let's see what's going to happen here. We got some smoke. Momo apparently transformed back into a man last chapter, and we saw the people coming out of the smoke were Hiyori. We saw Denjiro with his long, flowing ponytail, but he lost the based-ass pompadour, which is sad. Boo-hoo to that. All right, so Sour says, it seems unlikely Oda would revive Pedro at this point. I fucking hope so, my guy. I sure hope so. I would really prefer that he stay dead, just for the purpose of, like, consistency at this point. Like, that's the main thing. Like, you know, I would prefer... I also find it unlikely. I think Oda has done enough to show that Pedro was, like, a legitimate sacrifice, similar to Yasue, who was also a legitimate sacrifice. So I hope he stays dead, but we'll see. Seems like the intent was a softer impact. Ace. That's fair. I don't know if I'd go that far. I'd say it's more like a what's that guy in Marineford? Little Oars Jr. Little Oars Jr. is the example of like a minor character who gets like a little bit of like a heartfelt send off and does end up dying, but like does it in a cool way. Like he seems like a Little Oars Jr. in that way. Ace is like I get what you're saying, that Ace obviously died and it was impactful to the story. I think Pedro's death is a little, like, so much less relevant and impactful than Ace's death, in just the terms of, like, what Ace's death did to the narrative. That I would compare it more to someone like Little Oars Jr., who also died, but it was, you know, it was impactful and emotional, and allowed for the furtherment of the good guys' plot and their plan and stuff. But, you know, nothing that's going to keep us up at night, or keep the main characters up at night, you know, that kind of thing. Yasue and Oars Jr. are better comparisons than Ace. Yep. Yeah, I'm glad we agree. But that's fair. I agree with that. Okay, so something is happening in front of the castle. What is this something that is happening in front of the castle? Let's find out. How can Komurasaki-sama be here? Boss Kyoshiro, what in the world is going on? So they're about to give a little speech, do a little song and dance for these people. They're going to do a kabuki play in front of everyone, and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be sexy. It's going to be particularly erotic with Komurasaki there. But it should be informative as well. Boss Kyoshiro, what in the world is going on? Boss Kyoshiro appears. You two sure have made a name for yourselves. This is Kinemon. Obviously, you can see the outline in his hair and all that. You can see Raizo in the back there looking funny as well with his funny hair style. You sure have made a name for yourselves. You two sure have made names for yourselves. Now, I wonder whether the rest of us will still be recognizable to them. This guy's like, oh! So, obviously, he seems to be recognizing what's going on here. Oh, fuck yeah. Kinemon striking the pose. Yeah, buddy. Strike it. Fuck yeah, dude. Kinemon. Kinemon Dona. But how? I thought he burned with Odin Castle that day. It's amazing that they're able to recognize him. I guess there must have just been, like, you know, cool, like, Japanese art done of this man, or maybe, like, a sculpture of him somewhere. It's amazing that, like, people, like, you'd think that people who had, like, never seen a picture of this guy, like, because they don't have photographs in Wano, or at least I assume they don't, because it's a, you know, an old-fashioned type of place, you'd think that they'd look at Kinemon and be like, who the fuck is that? Like, who is that? And Denjiro would have to, like, explain it to them. But nope, they recognize him. They recognize him, so that's cool. But he's in front of our eyes. Is this a dream? Have we passed on to the next life? But I don't remember us dying. We're all, you know, we're all sitting in our own graves to some degree, my man. Anyway, it doesn't matter if this is reality or a fantasy. Either way, I think we're about to see something monumental. Oh shit. These boys are about to show up, do something cool. Strike a cool pose. They're all about to do this. They're all about to do this in front of each other. It's going to be great. Either way, I think we're about to see something monumental. Quick, fetch a light scroll snail. A light scroll snail. So that must be like a Dendenmush that shines a light, like a flashlight snail, I assume. Cool. Pretty neat. I can dig it. I can kind of dig that. All right, let's see what's going on next. We have to get the word out to the rest of Wano. Hurry! Okay, so we got Raizo showing up. We got Shinobu. We got Cat Viper, a.k.a. Nekomamushi. We got Kiku, who's resting in Cat Viper's arms. Oh, that's cute. I like this. Instead of like Kiku holding a cat in her arms, which is like what you would normally see, I like Kiku being held by a giant cat. That's actually kind of cute. I like that. No doubt about it. It's the Red Scabbards. They've been assumed dead for 20 years. Toki-sama's prophecy came true, and everyone is crying. Their wishes have come true at long last after these long 20 years that they've waited. That's beautiful. I can appreciate that. It looks like this is going to be, as I expected, the wrap-up chapter for Act 3. So let's see what we get here. It seems something is happening in the capital, so people are like doing a video projector. They're live streaming this to the entire country, so everyone can see what's going on. I love that Wano feels like big in a way that like some other islands and countries in the Grand Line don't. Like Wano feels like a big enough place that they have to broadcast this to the entire country in order for it to feel like it's like that the word is getting out there, you know? That actually is cool. That's a detail that I appreciate. I feel like a lot of times the countries in One Piece feel like rather small compared to real world countries. Besides Alabasta, I would say Wano is like the one that feels the biggest. And I do appreciate that about it. It feels like an appropriate level of scale for how much Wano has been built up as like a place that is kind of separate from the world government. It would make sense that it would be like a big self-sufficient land, you know, with a bunch of different topography spread throughout, as we've seen because of its 4 different quadrants that make up the mainland of Wano. Okay, seems something is happening in the capital. That's what they say in Ringo. In Hakumai, is this about the earthquake? So everyone felt the shockwave of Kaido and Big Mom being blasted below the island and then basically getting shot out of that volcano. I'm curious to see if we get any more on them, to be honest. I'm curious to see what we see from that. If we see anything at all. Oda could leave it at that, and that would be fine, in my opinion. I'm sure some people want more like verification that those guys are done. But we'll see. We'll see what we get. Okay. Sour Lemon says, in Dressrosa, it was just that they were all birdcaged into the center, so there was no need to broadcast anything. Yeah, that's fair, dude. I would say, though, that Dressrosa kind of Dressrosa is, like, was portrayed as, like, kind of, like, weird in terms of scale, in my opinion. Like, I remember reading that and being like, Dressrosa feels like a country that is literally just a big city. But then we also, like, especially in the flashback, we see that there are, like, rolling fields and, like fields of, like, daffodils and shit. And, like farmland and, like, land that is just, like, wide open, like, desert plains. But, like, literally, I think it's the fact that Doflamingo was able to cover the entire country with his birdcage that made the country itself feel smaller. You know, like, the fact that, like, this guy's power could cover the entire thing and, like, threaten the entire populace, and basically, like it made it feel relatively small in comparison to some of the other, like, big islands that we've been to. That's how I felt anyway. I don't know if that's, like, a popular opinion or not. That's just, like, how I feel about it. Okay, Kibi. I thought the village would shake apart. So everyone's talking about the earthquake, commenting on that from last chapter. All right, Curry. Head to Bakura Town. They're broadcasting something from the capital. So everyone from, like, the outskirt... I like that about Wano as well, is that there's a lot of, like, small towns. And that's another thing that kind of makes it feel bigger, like, similar to Alabasta. There's a lot of, like, small towns on the outskirts of these, like, big cities. And it, like, when people come into the main cities to see something, it feels, like, impactful. You know, it feels like how it would feel to some degree IRL. I appreciate that. It feels like larger in scale, at least the way it's being portrayed. Head to Bakura Town. They're broadcasting something from the capital. This isn't the time to just stand around and watch. They say this at Udon. We got Baba Nuki saying, like, yo, guys, get back to fucking work, you idiots. I mean, they have no prisoners there anymore, so I don't even know what they're doing there at this point. Maybe they're still, like, running the old factories over there. Okay. We got Abisu Town. So everyone's smiling and laughing. So Abisu Town was the smiling town. So that makes sense. Everyone is already laughing and crying and laughing. So, yeah, not too surprising there. All right. What's all the fuss about? It's a light scroll snail transmission from the flower capital. So everyone's talking. We still have Momo's Coom covering Onigashima, which is epic. You can see his floating flowery coom over here and underneath the island, keeping it from just like fucking collapsing onto the mainland. Okay. So here we go. We got the gang is all back together. That's awesome. It's awesome to see the Straw Hats. Like even in a panel like this, it's just really cool to see all the Straw Hats like in one place. You know, we see Usopp back there. You can see his elbow. We see Nami. We see Tama, Frankie. We got Brooke. We got Yamato, future Straw Hat inbound. We got Sanji. Yeah, it is good stuff. What do you mean you're Kaido's sons? They're all about to like fight her. They're squaring up, ready to beat the fuck out of Yamato. Frankie's about to fight her. Hold on, I'm not your enemy. In fact, I've been following your exploits in the news for ages. By the way, I knew your crew was made up of a lot of weird-looking people, but meeting you all in the flesh is still quite a shock. You're one to talk with those horns. Kaido's. Anyway, I'll be sailing with you from now on. Okay, so this is what people were talking about. I haven't seen this panel yet, but this must be what people were referring to when they were saying that this is like a heavy Yamato chapter, right? So, anyway, I'll be sailing with you from now on. I go by Kazuki Oden. Okay, but you can call me Yamato. Nice to meet you. Okay, cool. So she doesn't mind which name she goes by. Good to see it. Huh? So Usopp and Nami like, huh? What? And then, you're joining our crew, says Frankie. And Frankie's still kind of like, a little bit like sus about this. He's like, what the fuck? Yo, I approve, says Brooke. Yo. Brooke's getting a boner, as he does, being made of bones entirely. Not as much as me, says Sanji, floating and flying with all the hearts. How amusing. Oh, that's Robin. And we got Jinbei. We'll need to get confirmation from the captain before I'll be convinced, says Jinbei. Jinbei, you just fucking joined. You have no right to exclude anyone from the crew. Come on, dude. Fuck you. Like 4 panels is heavy Yamato. Yep. People make me laugh. Yes. I mean, this is pretty much... I gotta say, though, Sour, this is like as much of a... Like, this is as much of a confirmation of someone, like, being, like... going to become a crew member as we've ever gotten. So, like, obviously we still have to see them get on the boat and sail away, which is what, you know, we're waiting to see. But, like, this is a pretty big deal. This is a big fucking deal. We might have a new crew member in Yamato. I don't know how I feel about that, because up until this point, I was like, Yamato has the devil fruit that is the guardian deity of the Wano Kingdom. I was so sure that they, I don't know, I'm still confused on what pronouns to use for Yamato, was going to come around to defending, like essentially staying to protect Momonosuke. And that might still happen, but this is definitely a big lean into the Yamato for Straw Hat favor. So we'll just have to see what happens here. It seems like they really want to get off Wano and go with the crew. And you know what? They've been a slave for basically, like, to their lineage and to their, to their father, like, to their parentage for the entirety of their life. And she's like, what, like 27, 28? You know, she's like my age. So it's like, yeah, it makes sense that, like, she would want to be like, yeah, I want to see the world. Clearly that's why she identified, like, I like Yamato as a character. We can talk about her more towards the end of the chapter, but, like, I like her as a character. So I keep saying her. I like them as a character. I don't know how I feel about them becoming a Straw Hat, but like I appreciate them as a like I feel like now that we've seen some of their backstory, I get why. How do I put it? I get why they like identify with Odin to such a degree, because Odin was all about like, this place is too cramped, I need to get out of here and see the world. Yamato has literally been like, literally was like chained up as a kid, and like Kaido was like, if you're not going to obey me, you're gonna like be in here in chains or whatever. Like, it makes sense that someone who had such a controlling parents would want to like escape and be like Odin and like go see the world and go travel around, you know? It makes all the sense in the world that she would idolize Odin, or sorry, they would idolize Odin. I appreciate that about Yamato. I don't know if we need them to join the crew, but we'll just have to see what happens. So Anima404, how you doing, my man, says, God damn it, I don't want Yamato to join. I want more Jinbei spotlight because he's also new. Hey man, the more the merrier. Let's get fucking Tama on the crew. Let's get Carrot on the crew. Let's get Hamlet, my man Hamlet, on the crew. God damn it. I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you, dude. Like, listen, like I said, I like Yamato. I don't think they need to join the crew. I just don't think that's necessary. But Oda will do what Oda will do, or Hakta will do what Hakta will do. We just got to see what this guy has in mind for Yamato. Sour says, somewhere around Yamato's introduction, I remember there being something that made it incredibly obvious Yamato would join. Well, Yamato literally says, I'm Odin and I want to travel with you. I was going to travel with Ace, but he is dead, so let me travel with you instead. And Luffy says, yeah, okay. So, like, yeah, I mean, it seems, like, for all intents and purposes, like, it makes sense that this would happen, but I just don't really, like I said, I like Yamato. I don't think we need another crew member right now. Jinbei is already enough. Like, if we're gonna get another crew member, make it Hamlet, okay? Make it Hamlet. That's the only crew member I would, like, readily accept with open arms, you know? That's all I'm saying. Anyway, okay. So, Jinbei says, we need to confirm with our captain. I'm still holding out hope that Yamato will, kind of realize that, like, Odin, by leaving his country, left his country vulnerable, and as Yamato is, like, kind of inherited the will of Odin, I think it would be cool to see Yamato, like, learn from Odin's mistakes and be like, no, I have to be the one to shepherd Momonosuke into, like, maturity, so that, and, like, be the one to make up for all that Kaido did as his son and or daughter. I need to be the one to defend Wano and make up for all of the shitty things that Kaido did to it. Like, to me, that would be a better, like, full circle. That would bring Yamato's arc full circle, both as an extension of Odin, but also as an extension of Kaido as well. Like, to me, that would be, like, more thematically rich, but also, like, more, like, true to, like, the characters that Yamato is, like, specifically related to. So, like, I would prefer to see that, but we'll just have to see what happens. I'm not really sure what Oda wants to do here. She is a her. She just identifies as Odin as a person. Yeah, I mean, that's what I lean towards, my dude. I just, like, I don't know. Like, it's tough. It's a tough line to walk. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Sour Lemon says, the way I feel is that they are a good character, but not being the focus of the arc makes them feel less interesting as the others. Yeah, I more or less feel that way as well. Like, I actually thought Yamato got, like, a fair bit of focus and time in this arc. Like, I'm happy with what we got from Yamato as a character. I think I'm also happy with, like, the role they played. I'm glad they got a lot of stuff to do, but not too much. Like, they were able to hold off Kaido, but not for too long. They were able to, like, help with, like, the fucking bombs and shit. But, like, Momo's still the one that saved everyone from falling, and Luffy's still the one who, like, landed the final blow on Kaido. Like, to me, like, Yamato was a good addition, but not too intrusive. I'm happy with the, like, I think we got just enough to make them, like, a character that is empathetic and interesting, but not too much that makes them like kind of like frustrating or annoying. But if they join the crew, I'm like, well, you gotta bring a little bit more to make me want you as part of the crew, okay? That's all I'm saying. Anima says, if the next arc has 1 million side characters again, there's no hope or screen time for Straw Hats. Yeah, man, I'll be honest with you. Like, I know this is gonna, like, upset a lot of people, but, like, I've just given up on there being as much time for Straw Hats as there was pre-time skip. Pre-time skip was about building the crew out and, like, having our core members come together. Post-time skip is about, like, becoming a world power and, like, allying and making, like, alliances with other world powers in order to defeat guys like the Yonko and become the Pirate King. Like, to me, like, I'm glad that we saw the, like, the side characters, like, guys like the Scabbards, guys like the Minx, guys like, even Yamato, to be frank, and the Supernova, get as much, if not more, time to shine than the Straw Hats this arc. Personally, for me, I'm happy that happens. I wasn't initially, but as the arc continued and as we're kind of getting to the end of this Act 3, I believe, I'm like, it makes sense, because at the end of the day, if it were just the Straw Hats and like no other like allied crews versus the Beast Pirates, the Straw Hats would have gotten fucking stomped. They would have gotten they would have gotten like their shit pushed in. It wouldn't have even been a contest. Like, it wouldn't have been believable for the Straw Hats, like a 10-man squad, to take on this entire, like, 30,000 men organization led by, like, the strongest person in the world, right? Like, it makes all the sense in the world that we would get characterization for Luffy's rivals, and that they would get their moments to shine, which we got, and I'm happy about. It's all same thing with, like, their allies. Like, I'm glad that Jinbei took down, like, relatively, like, someone who is strong, but not, like, one of the top brass of the crew, and that instead it was like Nekomamushi and Inuarashi who got their like. Yes, I'm upset that Oda like skipped everything related to Jack, just like off screen that shit, and same thing kind of with Prospero as well. Prospero not needing to be in this arc kind of made me that like it softened the blow on that a little bit, but like I wish we had gotten at least half a chapter for both of those fights instead of like the couple panels that we got. But like I'm happy that like that these guys, like, it makes sense that, like, you'd have to ally with, like, other strong organizations in order to take down someone like Kaido or Big Mom. That's just the only way that would have worked, and I'm also happy to get characterization for these other guys. And I'm happy to see that some of them are more capable than our own crew members, because that just makes sense. That is, like, good world building. Like, I don't really know what to say beyond that, about that particular topic. If the next arc, but I get why people are upset, and like I love the Straw Hats, and I want to see more of them as well. So like I'm cool, I'm sympathetic, but I get why Oda did what he did, especially in this arc. To me, it makes sense. Hopefully, if we get Elbaf next arc, or if we get like a Vegapunk arc or something, I would love to see it be more Straw Hat focused. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But I get why this arc felt like a little bit more bloated. But to me, it had to be. It had to have all these side characters in order to sell the fact that they were able to take down this massive organization. There was just no other way for that to make sense. Anima also says, Yamato being in the crew means Kaido will be an ally in the final war. I don't think so. I legitimately think Kaido's relevance ends here. I don't think he's getting back up. I don't think he is going to, like, he is either getting arrested and putting in like the deepest depths of Impel Down and will never show his face as like a antagonistic force to the Straw Hats and like the main characters again, or he is like literally dead. Like he is like literally deceased after this arc. I do not see him or Big Mom coming back in any meaningful way from here on out. They have been, if they did, it would cheapen the victory we achieved here in this arc. It just would. The worst thing that we could get is too much of a good thing. And like, I get that not a lot of people like Kaido that much, and I understand that. Some people do. I like him. I'm not like the biggest Kaido fan. But Big Mom is a character that I absolutely love. Like one of my favorite characters in the series. Probably my favorite antagonist in One Piece, to be honest. At least like in the top 3. Probably like literally among like other Big Mom, Big Mom crew characters. But Big Mom, like, I love Big Mom. I don't want to see her return in Elbath. I don't want to see her return in arcs after Elbath. Because at that point, she just becomes Team Rocket. They have to beat her every single time, and she just becomes a meme. She just, like, she's already someone that people, like, meme on, because she can be, like, taken advantage of and, like, fooled and, like, kind of, like, dealt with in, like, somewhat, like, trivial ways. Just because she's similar to Luffy in that she loses focus, or if she's focused on one thing, she might not notice other characters, like, fucking with her, right? But, like, if she literally just gets blasted off every time, like, she's Team Rocket, that completely, like, destroys the character for me. That would, like, legitimately be bad, and I would hate that. Sometimes too much of a good thing is a bad thing, and I definitely don't want to see Big Mom or Kaido come back. I would be happy to see a little bit more of, like, a Kaido flashback, but I don't want to see either of these characters come back as enemies, because that would cheapen the victory that was achieved here today. And even if they came back in, like, similar to the way, like, Crocodile comes back in, like, the Paramount War, they would just get beaten. They would literally get, like, if they were to come back, they would be jobbers. They would job to, like, Eam or, like, a Kainu or something. And it would make them, like, pathetic. It would make them pathetic and lame. At this point in time, they got high diffed by, like, the strongest, like, allied characters we have in the series. Like, Kid, Law, and Luffy. That is good. That is good. It should stay that way. They should not come back. That is my full stance on that. Let me see. Sour says, what I mean is that this is the Scabbard arc. Yes. Whereas other arcs were basically respective Straw Hat arcs. Pretty much. I mean, other arcs focused on different characters as well. But, like, I like the side characters in this arc the most. The Scabbards and Momo are literally my favorite side characters in any One Piece arc. I like them better than Polly and, like, the Frankie family and, like, the Galila guys. I like them better than Vivi. Sorry, Vivi. I mean, not all of them. I like Kinemon and Momo better than I like Vivi. Sorry, Vivi. I love you, but I like these guys better. I'm sorry. Like, Oda just did such a good job with them and making them, like, both capable and, like, interesting and empathetic and, like, not too strong, but still, like, actually capable of doing shit. Like, and, like, layered and funny, and, like, they're just so damn good. Like, Oda not, like, that is the biggest success this arc was, like, the side characters, specifically the Scabbards and Momo. Like, Oda knocked that shit out of the park. That is, like, what makes this arc as good as it is. I'm going to be talking about later in this stream where I think this arc failed and where I think it specifically could have done better. But in that way, I think Oda, like, fucking nailed it. Did better than he ever did, in my opinion. Wano was stronger for having the Scabbards be the focus instead of the Straw Hats. I completely agree with that. The Straw Hats still got a lot of focus, though. Like, I don't want to undersell that. The Straw Hats got a lot of time to shine this arc. Sanji and Zoro got more characterization this arc, and same with Robin. Sanji, Zoro, and Robin got more characterization, and Luffy too, to some degree, but maybe not quite to the extent that he got in, like, Whole Cake Island. But, like, Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy literally got more characterization and, like, more, like, character development and, like, interesting, like, character moments in this arc than they've, like, had in, like I don't know, like, 500 chapters. Like, this was so good for the Straw Hats in so many ways. And yes, there are certain characters who didn't get maybe as much as you wanted. Like, Usopp didn't get quite as much as a lot of people wanted. That's totally fair. Nami to some degree as well. I think Nami got some good stuff this arc. I get why people were disappointed with her fight. I'm personally fine with it. I get why people were disappointed, though. Brook, I feel like Brook shines the brightest as a supporting character. So him literally being there to, like, support Robin and be, like, there to just back her up and make sure that once she was done with her fight, she didn't get, like, just, like, fucking snatched by CP0. Brook, like, literally, like, the best boy. Like, just him be, like, he is never, like, the main guy. He's always, like, the best supporting guy, though, and he plays that role so fucking well, and I love him as a supporting character and as support to the other characters who get, like, more focus than he does. Like, that's kind of what makes Brook so special to me. I'm fine with Brook not getting, like, the limelight most of the time. I'm fine with him getting, like, these great supporting moments that he gets, which he got in this arc. Jinbei got a fight. It wasn't my favorite. It was fine. At least he got a fight. Hey, that's better than he's gotten so far. Sanji literally had some of his best moments in the entire series this arc, if you ask me. Brook is fantastic. Thank you. Nah, Elbaf is Shanks' arc. Yeah, dude, but Elbaf can be Shanks' arc, but that doesn't mean we're gonna get like I even if Elbaf is Shanks' arc, and I do agree that it probably will be, I still think like we're not getting like the alliance that was in this arc was specifically put together to take down Kaido and to some degree Big Mom. But specifically like Luffy and Law were in an alliance to take down Kaido. Their alliance is fulfilled. Same thing with the samurai, same thing with the minks. Those guys are all going their separate ways. Worst case scenario, we get like Carrot joining the crew, which I hope we don't, but that's the worst case scenario. Elbaf, I think, is just going to be the Straw Hats. Maybe the Kid Pirates will be there because Kid might want revenge for the guy who took his arm, but I don't think like any other like of these allies that we have here are going to be in Elbaf. If we do end up going to Elbaf, which who knows, we might even not end up doing that. We'll just have to see. But I do think Elbaf is going to be more focused, so I wouldn't worry too much, Anima. I do think there's like some, I think there's classic One Piece stuff to come, so at least I hope so. But we'll see. Nah, Film Red is Shanks' art. Oh my god, fucking kill me. I'm not even gonna see that shit. That looks terrible. Even just the outfits for the Straw Hats in that movie look so bad. I do not care. I do not care. Anyway, okay. Okay, so let's move on here. Let's keep reading. So is Luffy gonna be okay? And Zoro is also fucked up. His battle was so intense, and that form of his, shit. Okay, so we got Yamato looking over at them. Hey, who said you could run off? So a bunch of these whatchamacallit guys, these Beast Pirate guys are running away, obviously, like they did at the end of Lord of the Rings, where like the Tower of Sauron falls and the Eye of Sauron explodes, and like all of the orcs just like book it as fast as they can to escape the battle after that, once their leader falls. Eek! Young master, please don't. Please, we don't want to be servants like the others. Too bad, bitch. Well, this one doesn't seem like an enemy at any rate, so that's what Jinbei's saying. He's kind of laughing a little bit. Quit whining and stay put. Hamlet, my man! Yeah! That reminds me, what's going to happen to these guys? That's a good point. We've been wondering at this point, like, do the people that Tama feeds Adongo to, are they like slaves forever to Tama's will? We just saw Babanuki earlier this chapter, and I think last chapter as well, kind of showing that he's no longer under Tama's control. So it's unlikely that they'll be slaves forever, but we'll see what happens. That my jutsu always wears off when the moon shape comes back around. Okay, so it's one moon cycle. So like if it's a full moon the night that she feeds them, the next full moon, it will be they'll be back to normal. So it only lasts a month. Okay, interesting. The animals usually go back to normal afterwards, but some stay tamed. Okay, so some stay mind-controlled, others retain their freedom. Good to know that Tama's control does not continue forever. Anima says, Film Red is going to be so bad, like it's either just going to cock-tease Shanks stuff, or have him get a big W because he's going to job in the main story. Honestly, I could see it being both of those things. Because he's obviously Shanks is going to get beaten by Blackbeard. That's like literally the only thing you can do with that guy. He's either going to get beaten by Blackbeard or like Eam or Akainu. Probably Blackbeard or Eam. But probably Blackbeard. Because Blackbeard's been the one that he literally warned Whitebeard about Blackbeard. Blackbeard gave him the fucking three scars across his eye. I'm pretty sure Blackbeard's going to be built up as the guy that Luffy needs to get revenge on to avenge Shanks. That it just makes all the sense in the world. So yeah, him getting a W in either earlier in that arc or in the Shanks arc, or by doing it in a movie. I mean, if they relegate that to a movie, that's just fucking sad, man. I feel bad for that guy. But, this is the way of the One Piece world, I suppose. We get these movies to, spoil us for minor things in the story, but also just kind of like give us like little moments for these characters outside of the main manga. Anyway, the animals usually go back to normal afterwards, but some stay tamed. I'm sure they get to choose what they like best. Sure, Tama, sure. Tama's just trying to justify her fucking mind control over these bastards. Anyway, these poor fucking souls. Master, I want to stay by your side. I'm happy like this. Aww. I love Speed, man. Speed, sexiest Wano girlfriend by far, with that double horse pussy that she's got. What if she's got like a pussy in the front, but like a big horse cock in the back? That wouldn't surprise me very much. Anyway, okay. That makes me so glad Horsella-chan. I like that she's given her a nickname too. I'd love it if you stayed with me, but not as my servant. I'd rather think of you as a mother. Oh, shit. She just fucking books it in the opposite direction. She's like, I didn't sign up for that shit. She gets the fuck out of there. Aw, and Nami even was like, what the fuck are you saying? Maybe Nami will adopt Tama, because Nami has a thing for, like, orphans, Nami definitely feels for orphans, since she was an orphan herself. And Belmare adopted and took care of her. Horsella-chan literally cooms at the thought of becoming her mom, or freaks out and runs away. One or the other. Sour Lemon says, Shanks, one of the most popular characters in One Piece, forever cucked from actually mattering outside his massive cock. Yeah, I mean, true. I mean, look, I'm sure we'll find a lot of cool things out about Shanks. But who knows, man? Maybe he'll get a Kaido flashback where it won't mean a goddamn thing. And nothing, he'll get like maybe 3 pages of flashback of him being like, Luffy will defeat me one day. Or some shit like that. Who knows, man? Who knows what will happen with Shanks? We'll just have to wait and see. Look at Komurasaki and Kin and everyone else. They're kneeling. Who is that? Oh, shit. Are we about to see adult Momonosuke? Yeah, baby. I want to see this. Hopefully he is, I want him to look just like Whitebeard. Or just like Roger. No, Roger wasn't in the picture at the time. Just like Whitebeard, though, for sure. That would be hilarious. Give him the Whitebeard mustache. He's Whitebeard's true son. That would unironically be a better twist than the whole, Conjuro thing. So they're bowing. This is a really cool panel. This is probably going to be thumbnail material. Okay. It has been a long 20 years since my father died. Oh shit. He's about to fucking puff out his chest and say it like a man. I'm Momonosuke goes. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. Man looking fucking sexy. Look at that fucking hair. Jesus. Father, don't tell me. You have all done exceptionally well to have survived this protracted winter, being the winter of the last 20 years. Very cool. The freedoms of the Fire Festival shall not end tonight. Starting tomorrow, all of you will be able to live as you wish. What? But Orochi will. You may drink as much as you please. Fuck yeah, dude. That's not... Hey. I'll drink to that. All right. The toxic factories that have ravaged our lands will be abolished. Fucking yeeted out of here. Slavery will cease to exist in Wano from this day forward. Fuck yeah, okay. Momo-kun, says Tama, seeing this fucking Chad-ass mother... This is gonna be her sexual awakening, let's just be honest. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna not say stuff like that anymore. Four more factory workers died today. It may be our turn to go tomorrow. Damn. That's some real shit right there. Oh, baby Tama. We're getting a Tama flashback? Okay. I didn't expect this, to be honest. Who should tell Otama? She has to know. Otama-chan, this will be difficult to hear, but your father and mother are... Oh, shit. So earlier in the chapter, she asked if Speed could become her new mom. And now we're learning, like, what actually happened to her parents. And we see the tiny version of the dog, the baby version of the dog. That's actually That's fucking cute, man. This is heartwarming. Heartbreaking at the same time. Oh, Tama-chan, this will be difficult to hear, but your father and mother are... Daddy, Mommy, please rest easy. I'm gonna be okay. Aw. Oh, look at the little dog. So cute, man. Hats for sale. Get your hats here. So she's over here selling these straw hats that she teaches Ace how to make. That's aw. So Tama is like the hook for Luffy this arc. Like, Luffy wasn't like obviously he cared about like Momo and the Scabbards, but it wasn't until he met Tama that he truly understood like the plight of the Wano people. And that's what kind of made him declare, like, when I'm through here, like, Wano will be a place people can eat till they're full every day. Like, that was his like thing. That's what got him invested in like taking down Kaido and in the plight of the Wano like citizenry, right? So this is actually cute that we're at the end of Act 3. We're getting like a Tama flashback to like further kind of solidify like what she represents for this arc and like what, like, you know, kind of bringing things full circle in a way. I think that's kind of nice. Hats for sale. Get your hats here. Does anybody need a hand-woven hat? Everyone already has a hat. Sorry, no money to spare. Woven hats for sale. Sorry, Komochiyo. No one bought any today. Aw. Poor dog. One hat, please. And we have our little nose boy who's just like walking around. He's about to buy a hat. Wow, you're a Tengu. She fucking slips and falls, and she's fallen and she can't get up. You are an orphan, I take it. Please do not give in. It will only be a few more years. So what's this guy's deal? Is he Kozuki Sukiyaki, as some people suspected? Let's find out. Soon, the Kozuki clan's mighty warriors will make their return. So this guy really was like a true believer, at the very least. We know that this guy like truly believed in like the Kozukis. That's pretty cool. So he must have been. This guy Tengu and Kozuki Sukiyaki have the same voice actor in the anime. So a lot of people suspect that they are the same guy. That this is like Kozuki, because Kozuki Sukiyaki supposedly died of illness because Orochi like fucking poisoned him, but we technically never saw him die, so he could have just like escaped or something. Who knows? We'll find out soon enough. Soon the Kozuki clan's mighty warriors will make their return. When that day comes, we'll finally be rid of those demonic Oni. They will no longer poison this land. Kozuki? Is that really true? Then I'll keep going. I'll be okay. This is really cute. I really like this. So Sour says, Oda did some goddamn work making the country of Wano tragic and sympathetic. Dude, I fucking agree, man. That's some go-to shit. That's some go-to shit. Like, I actually, like, feel for, like, the people of Wano to a degree. And, like, even just, like, the people who fought in the raid, who are willing to, like, let Luffy destroy Onigashima in order to, like, evict Kaido. Like, the fact that they were like, listen, man, I would love to go back home to my family, but, like, if Luffy has to destroy the islands to, like, to completely wipe out Kaido and, like, the Beast Pirate troops, that's good enough for me. Like, they were willing to lay down their lives for that. Like, they're real badasses, and, like, I really do, like, empathize with them a lot. So I think Oda did a great job in that way. Okay, so, aww. So Tama's crying. This is kind of getting to me, guys. Maybe it's just the alcohol, but but it is getting to me a bit. Oh, and Horsella's over here, and I love that okay. So a lot of people feel like Nami doesn't get as many character moments post time skip, but like here's the thing, guys. Both in this arc and in Whole Cake Island, she gets some good stuff, I think. But I get why people say this because like there are certain aspects of her character that seem like a little watered down post time skip, just because there isn't as much time to give to her as there is pre time skip. But like her charity towards orphans, which is something that we saw on full display in Punk Hazard. One of my favorite aspects of Punk Hazard is seeing Nami be like such a mother figure and being so unwilling. Like Sanji's like, listen, we can't worry about these kids. We have our own shit to worry about. Nami's like, I am not fucking leaving these kids here with this madman who's like experimenting on them. And like seeing here again, like Nami seeing an orphan and like just kind of comforting her, it's just like a really beautiful moment. And like Nami kind of taking care of Tama during the raid, like, and being willing to go up against Ulti, who Nami was like so afraid of, just to save Tama, just to be like, don't fucking touch Tama, like I will kill you, is really good. It's heartwarming. It's heartwarming to see Nami, like, you know, stand up for, like, you know, kids who remind her of herself as like a little girl. So I appreciate that a lot. I know that's something a lot of readers don't necessarily think about or pick up on, but it's very clear that that's like what Oda's trying to do with Nami, and trying to show that she is so sympathetic, and like she doesn't always have a heart for everybody. Like she kind of like can be greedy and can be selfish a lot of times, but like she is the most selfless when it comes to like orphans and orphan children like herself. And it's a beautiful thing to see. I appreciate a lot that Oda gives her those moments. Sniff, sniff, oh, Tama. Tama, wah! Don't celebrate like this. Don't celebrate like this is this is special, Tama. I assume that's Tengu saying that. By the time we leave this country, this is what Luffy said to her in Act 1. Fuck yeah. This is great. I actually really like this. This is bringing things full circle. It's that type of shit that you like to see in an arc like this. That's fucking great. So, Tama. So this is when Luffy gave her the apple, because she wanted to have a candy apple. Luffy gave her the apple. He says, hey, Tama, don't go crying about this. Don't go, you know, thinking that this is the best day of your life. Don't celebrate like this is special, Tama. By the time we leave this country, it'll be a place where you can eat as much as you want every single day. Fuck yes. Beautiful stuff. Orochi's tyrannical regime and the menace of Kaido are gone for good. So this is fucking Momo fucking, you know, putting his chest out there and fucking speaking with like bravado and gusto and like letting everyone know he is the fucking man who saved this country, saved its people from like getting crushed by a giant falling island. You know, what a fucking Chad. Momo is a badass, dude. I love Momonosuke. I met powerful and passionate friends on my voyage. Dude, fucking speaking with his whole chest. I love to see that shit. And together, our ninja, pirate, mink, samurai alliance raided Onigashima. Fuck yeah. Kaido, and he lists his fucking sword. That's not the Wano Ichimonji. That's Odin's other sword, the second sword. I forget what it's called. Oh, look at this badass with his long... he looks so fucking cool. I love this shit. Okay. Kaido, Hiroshi, and the Beast Pirates, the monsters that have kept you living in fear, have all been vanquished. What? So good. So good. And this panel, fucking excellent, dude. Is he serious? They were beaten? That awful Orochi is gone? Yep. Our alliance. And kid's like, our alliance? You fucking kidding me? I didn't join an alliance with anyone. Baka. Baka. Tsundere ass motherfucker. Alright, what's next? Everyone's crying, their fucking nose is running, they're throwing their kids in the air. Literally throwing their kids in the air. Law and his teddy bear boy just fucking cuddling. That's cute. ... We will never forget the heroes who paved the way to make this possible. Aw, look at Otoko, man. So adorable. Kinemon. Now what? I'm not sure what to say now. So he was putting on airs. He was kind of acting. As they say, fake it till you make it. Fuck yeah, Kinemon, my man, dude. This guy. I'm sure they're gonna translate this as something else. This is not like a Viz translation by any means, and you can tell because they would never say fake it till you make it in Viz. I'm just saying. That's like way too like Viz is way too proper with the way they translate their shit. I wish they would like be more like casual and like use more like modern like, how do I put it, like I don't want to say like linguistics, but like modern like Viz like tends to translate things like a bit too proper. And even like people who read Japanese have said that. Like they're like, yeah, Viz doesn't always like translate things in the tone that the original Japanese necessarily implies, which is typically more casual. I'm not a Japanese reader, so I can't verify that myself, but that's apparently what a lot of people who actually read Japanese say about the Viz translations. As they say, fake it till you make it, which is Kinemon's mantra. It's fucking It's fucking Momo's mantra, and you know what? It's fucking my mantra too. I fuck with that heavy, dude. Fake it till you make it. That is how you do things. Like if you don't know what you're talking about, you got to act like you've been there before. That's what I did with streaming, man. Listen, I'm not a big streamer, but I'm faking it until I make it. You know, that's what life is all about. You got to act like you've been there before. You got to like be confident in yourself. You know, fucking put your chest out, speak with your whole chest. That's the shit. That's the shit. That's the shit. Viz uses some clunky literal translations. 100%, dude. 100%. Like, yeah. Everyone who, like, isn't, like, a Viz cuck, like, everyone who isn't, like, you know, fucking gobbling Viz's dick, like, you know, because they're the official guys and they can do no wrong, like, everyone knows that their translations are clunky as fuck. Like, even just reading the translation of the last chapter, like, I remember, like, reading through, like, some of, like, the particular edits. I actually have that here. Fuck it. Let's pull it up for fun. We have some time. Why not? Like, last chapter I thought was, like, pretty well translated, but, like, even right now, it's like, where was it? Yeah, like, it was, like, winner formerly Kaido. But previously, in the TCB translation, it was, the winner of the rooftop battle has been revised. And that is, like, so much less clunky, like, than formerly Kaido. And even, like, yeah, like, there's just a lot of, like, bullshit, like, that they do all the time. Everyone knows this. You know, it's typical, you know, Viz and typical official guys, like, being up their own ass. And not willing to, like, take any criticism as well. Like, whenever anyone, like, provides legitimate, like, constructive criticism to them, they're always like, oh, you're just a fucking, like, asshole, you don't want to support the official release. And it's like, no, I do. I just, like, you just suck. You just don't put things out on time when they're actually available in Japan. Like, you don't, like, take criticism at all. And having multiple translations out there is good because you can compare them. It is, like, informative to the reader, and also Viz doesn't include translation notes, which is a big fucking deal. And, like, people have criticized them for that. It's like, well, listen, these other, like, the scanlators often include translation notes. Translation notes. So even if Viz's translation is more technically accurate, it doesn't always capture the tone that was implied, which is the problem. But anyway, you guys know this. I don't need to preach to you about this type of stuff. They don't fully understand the difference between translation and localization. 100%, dude. Like that. Yeah, that's the thing. They're good at translating. They're not good at localizing. You're 100% right about that. Sour, again, coming in with the big brain. Okay. Fake it till you make it, baby. All right. Aw, look at Momo, his lip quivering. He's about to say, I'm Kozuki Momonosuke, and I will be the Shogun of Wano. He's about to say some shit like that. It's going to be sick. What are you, Momo? Just a figurehead? Does anything... Oh, this is going back to what Luffy said to him in fucking Zou, when he was like, dude, everyone seems to be making decisions for you. What do you want? Does anything in the world still seem scary to you? That's what he said to him on the Skull Dome when he after he bit Kaido. And here you go. My name was given to me by my father. It means second to none. Yeah, fuck yeah. Okay, here we go. I swear to live up to that by restoring this country's barren lands to the paradise they once were. Dude, fuck yeah. Yeah, Momonosuke, yeah. So satisfying to see Momonosuke, like, fucking... Like, Momonosuke has been consistent... I've talked about this before, but Momonosuke has been consistently impressive. He has consistently risen to the occasion every single time. Every time he is needed, he has stepped up. He is an 8-year-old boy at heart, in his fucking mind. Like, he only has 8 years of actual life experience, but he has risen to the occasion every time he has been needed, and he has been needed way more than any 8-year-old should be. What a badass. I love this guy. One of my favorite, like, arc characters, one of my favorite, like, secondary characters in One Piece. Oda just fucking knocked it out of the park with this motherfucker. I cannot be more happy with the way Momonosuke was handled. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Like, one of the biggest successes of Wano, one of the biggest successes of the raid, and one of the biggest successes of, like, characters post time skip. Like, Momo has had like a really convincing and really effective character arc, and I am so fucking satisfied with it. I'm really happy about it. It's great. There's not much more to say about it. Like, we'll see what else he says, but it's really cool. But I'll need you to lend me your strength. So he's empowering the people of Wano with his words. He can't do it alone. He needs their help. I have transcended the last 20 years to save this land. From this moment on, Wano will be led by me. Look at this fucking Chad. Look at him. Look at him, dude. Oh my god. Such a sexy boy right there. 28 years old. The mind of a child. So fuckable. Look at him. What a badass, dude. What a badass. Wano will be led by me, Kozuki Momonosuke. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. So everyone's crying. Everyone's weeping and pissing and shitting and coming. Mother, I will keep my promise. Father, and dude, he just looks like a fucking badass right now. So intense. The intensity in his face. Everyone, I will continue along the path you started. Momonosuke-sama. Sanji lighting a cigarette. He's proud of Momonosuke. Yamato also proud of Momonosuke. These guys proud of Momonosuke. Oh god, I couldn't think of a better way to end Act 3. And who knows if this is actually the end of Act 3. It looks like it might be. The true Shogun has returned. My deepest apologies for the delay. Momonosuke-sama. Sakura petals dance in a future sky where warriors can finally rest their blades. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. A man 8 years of age surveys their progress. A man who is also 8 years of age, even though he is a man. And he has proved how much of a fucking man he is. That's what I'm fucking talking about, Momonosuke. That's what I'm talking about. As they drift in the night air on the renowned land of the samurai. Oh, look, and him and Hiyori are about to reunite. That's beautiful as well. Hiyori being his, like, technically younger sister, who's actually, like, way older than him in terms of, like, life experience, is really cute and funny. And her seeing her big brother be, like, so much... Look how fucking tall this dude is. Jesus Christ. As they drift in the night air on the renowned land of samurai, he may lack physical strength, but he compensates with his devotion to duty and boundless compassion. Amen, brother. Mm-hmm. Okay, we get it. This man will one day be known far and wide as one of Wano's greatest leaders. We have just borne witness to the birth of the great Shogun, Kozuki Momonosuke. Our young hero stands tall. Oh my god, that was fucking beautiful, guys. This was a fucking Kino. Fucking Kino. This is Goda. Goda brought his A game this chapter. It made me feel all the things you want to feel at the end of, like, a big arc like this. It brought everything full circle in one chapter. Jesus Christ, man. They knocked it out of the fucking park. What else is there to say, man? What else is there to say? What a beautiful chapter. You know, it's funny. I like, if this was going to be if we were going to see the curtains close on Act 3 this arc, this chapter, I had a lot of things to say. Like, I was planning to go into this chapter with a lot of things to say, like, not necessarily negatively, but like constructive criticism, things I think could have been done better, and like ways in which I think they could have been done better in Act 3 during the raid. I do still want to cover that stuff. Like, specifically, I've already kind of gone on my Denjiro rant, but I want to talk about, like, how I feel about Drake and Apu, and, like, not getting, their due, right? They didn't really get their due. They kind of got, like, off screen and kind of got cucked, you know? Like, it's unfortunate, but that's kind of how things went this arc, and it's sad. And, like, I still want to talk about that, but, like, I don't think this is the chapter to discuss that. Those guys were not relevant this chapter. Not at all. And as I also want to kind of relitigate my case on Denjiro a little bit and how I think he could have been handled in a more interesting way based on the build-up that was given to him in Act 2. But this chapter was so good, and it rounded out the arc so well. I don't really want to like dampen how strong of like a chapter and how strong of like a like closer to like this story arc that this was by kind of like talking about like what I think could have been done better. And it's not that I don't like Wano is not over. I will have my chance to make my case on those matters, on like specifically what I think could have improved this arc. I'll have my chance. I will have other chances in other episodes of ChipZ Ahoy to make my case on that. But this is a time, I think, to celebrate like what this arc did well. And what it did well was these arc-specific characters that got so much build-up and such great payoff to like their characters, to how fucking like empathetic and also like capable they are. Like I can't speak how I can't like overstate how much I love Momo and the Scabbards. Like there are certain Scabbards I don't care that much about, like specifically like Kawamatsu. I like his character design. I don't give much of a fuck about Kawamatsu. Same with Kiku. Like I like Kiku for the most part, but she didn't really have that much to do. Like I'm happy. Like I think she's cool, but she didn't have much to do this arc. You know, Kinemon, fucking A+. Love this as a side character, one of the best Oda's ever done, in my opinion. The fucking Mink Boys, they're super good, super fun, super capable. It was great to see them get a win this arc, even if it was a win against characters that should have had more time to shine, and they should have had more time to show what they could do as well. I'm still glad they got that win. Denjiro, super good character. I'm glad him and Hiyori kind of had like this full circle thing where they were the ones to take down Orochi. That was great. Same with like Kanjuro, and like Momo has just been like I remember in Act 2 people were like, everybody likes One Piece. Yeah, you know it, dude, you know it. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody does like One Piece, except for me. I hate One Piece. But no, like I was I had gone into, I didn't know what this chapter had in store for us. I was expecting this to be the official end of Act 3, and it might be. We might find out next chapter that this is technically where the act closes, the curtains close on this Kabuki act or whatever. But we didn't get that. We got a little send-off at the end with like this like kind of word of God text from Oda, which was beautiful and great, and I loved it. But this chapter was all about Momo. Like it was all about like Tama and Momo were like the stars of this chapter. Tama being the one, like Tama being kind of like our character that like roots us to the conflict of Wano, to the like she is like the emotional core of this arc in a lot of ways. Specifically what I mean by that is that she was the one that like Luffy met her, and she was the one that like Luffy obviously cared about Momo. I've mentioned this before. Luffy already cared about Momo and the Scabbards, but he didn't like really care about the plight of the Wano people until he met Tama. And like until he realized how generous she was, how hopeful she was that someone would come and save them someday, but realizing that she was hoping for Ace and he wasn't going to be able to do that anymore. And like he decided that he was going to help this country because of Tama, and her kind of doing this thing where she comes full circle and like kind of remembers what like Luffy's promised to her at the end of this arc is really beautiful. I think it's a really good way to like round out what this arc was really about, which was like kind of, you know, like helping like these people who were hopeless and like kind of like or even just retained hope for 20 years and like kind of showing them like the light at the other end of the tunnel, and like how beautiful, and like it was sad that they had to survive the dark night, but they have like risen and the dawn has come. The dawn has come as Pedro said that it would. So I think that's great. And then also Momo fucking sticking his chest out like a man and declaring his name as Luffy taught him to. Fucking based, you know, one of my favorite like moments this arc. And Momo just like, when we first met Momo, he was a little fucking dinky dragon at the bottom of a fucking well, or bottom of a fucking like garbage disposal in Punk Hazard. And he has come so far. He was like a scaredy cat. He was a little bitch, and he still is. But like Kinemon said, fake it till you make it. And Momo has embodied that idea. He realized how much was needed of him to be this leader, to be this figurehead that everyone needed after his father, who was like the strong one, passed and couldn't accomplish his goal. Like, he has stepped up to the plate every single time, despite how afraid he is, despite how, daunting the tasks ahead of him were. And like, it's just incredible, man. Like, I couldn't have asked any more from Momo, and I am so impressed with the way with the way Oda brought his character full circle in this way. And like, I just love it, man. Like, he truly has grown into like the guy we want to see as like the leader of Wano. And like, as Oda says here, a man 8 years of age surveys their progress. He may lack physical strength, but he compensates with his devotion to duty and boundless compassion. He is a traveled man. He has seen the world. He grew up on Whitebeard and Roger's ship. He is a man with more like wisdom than most people in the Wando Kingdom, just from what he has seen as a child. And he is truly mature beyond his years. And it is just like, he's a tragic character because of how much he's had to grow up, so how fast he had to grow up and how he had to step into this role that he really should have never been expected to fulfill in the first place. But he has truly done it with his, despite his fears, despite his trepidations, he has stepped up at every single opportunity, and he fucking stuck his chest out like a man and faked it until he made it. So I will have my gripes. I will express my gripes with the way the raid, certain aspects of the raid was handled in a episode down the line, and talk about what I think could have been done better or more effectively later on. But this chapter, I just kind of have to like say, thank you, Goda. This is good shit. You brought this shit full circle. And the stuff that is highlighted in this chapter, the side characters, getting us invested in the plight of Wano and its people through the Scabbards, through Tama, through characters like Otoko, and Yasue, like, and even to some degree, Yamato as well. Like, he really did succeed and really just like go above and beyond in that particular way. I think this chapter is a testament to how Oda has grown as an author. And yes, there are some ways that maybe he's not quite as attentive to certain details as I would have liked him to be, or as he has been in the past. But we can talk about that another time. There's still more wanted to go. And this chapter was Goda, 100%. This is a great chapter. Probably my favorite chapter in like the last 10. Like, this is what I look for, is like this shit coming full circle in like a satisfying, thematic, like beautiful way. And I like, this is what I wanted. This is like Oda fucking killed it. Oda knocked it out of the park with this, and I don't really have anything more to say this time around. We'll see what happens with the fallout of the raid. I'm still excited to see what that stuff is. I'm still excited to learn more about Odin's journal, about like see the road poneglyph that we get, and what the other Rio poneglyph that Robin found on this island says, and just like see like what the fallout of this like monumental conflict is going to be. And I will have my time to relitigate my case on some of these factors that I think could have been executed better during the raid. But with this, I am done. I think this chapter just was like literally basically, this is as close to a 10 out of 10 chapter for me as you can get. Maybe it's like a 9 or an 8. It's hovering in that range, though. This is a top tier chapter, one of the best ones I've gotten in a while, because it is bringing everything full circle. And that's what I look for with One Piece, is like taking all those elements and bringing it back, full circle, completing the arc of these characters and of these ideas. And yeah, in that way, I think Oda nailed this chapter in particular. So we'll see if he sticks the landing with everything else. But I'm happy with the way this chapter went. I'm happy with the way it wrapped things up. And I will stop rambling and call this episode to a close. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode of ChipZ Ahoy. It's always a fun adventure here on the high seas, whether it's Hakta or Goda. And this week, it was definitely Goda. So thank you guys again so much, and I will see you in the next one. Peace, and have a nice day.